it is always your lack of belief. And that's for all of us because we have to develop some sort of belief in ourselves to be able to accomplish anything. And we start learning that when we're young. We have to form belief about anything. Can I go to school on my own? Can I believe that I can accomplish that? And then we move through our lives still trying to develop that belief in ourselves of what we can do or what we might be able to accomplish. When I was coaching voice, I was a vocal coach for more than 35 years. And towards the end of that, before I started shifting, I started noticing something with all of my clients. And it was the same thing with me because I had to learn it. When they were performing, they couldn't connect to themselves. And it was just so striking to me. Then I had to remember I was doing the same thing. I couldn't connect to who I was. When I first got onto a stage, I couldn't do that. I remember when I wanted to get comfortable on stage, what I would do is drive miles away from where I lived to go to a karaoke bar and said, let me try that. Let me practice so that I could start to believe in myself a little bit more so no one's judging me and no one's going to be there that I know. So it made it easier. And that worked for a while until I had to really do the real thing and start to own who I was. And that lack of belief was still there. So then years later, I had another idea. I said, wait a minute. If I can help all of these people, because then what I did to prove that that was the difficulty, they just weren't connected to themselves, I created this program called The Complete Artist. And it was shocking to see what would happen when we would all, because it was a class, and we would all point out to the individual how they weren't connected to what they were doing or performing or singing. And they would get that and it would change. And then you would instantly see this dramatic improvement when they would come back and do it again. Because now they're no longer afraid of themselves. And that's what we really have, is fear of who we could become. It's never about the failure of that. It's more about who we could become if we were to get out of the way and start to do something. And then I've always, since a child, I had this other idea. I said, I'm going to change the world. I want the world to be better. I hate it when people don't understand who they are and there's anger and there's hatred. And I was always that person. But I didn't believe in myself. But now I do. Because I know I found that thing. And I know that anyone who wants to live that great life and connect to themselves, now they have a way of doing it. Because it all happens in consciousness. And I spent 36 years writing it all out and receiving all the instructions. And then proving that it works because then I healed. And you can do the same thing. Anyone can. It's just we have to get over our disbelief and decide to take that risk, step outside of our comfort zone, and decide we're worth something. But it's a process, and that process is well worth it once you do it. That I do know. So, do not judge yourself if you have that lack of belief. It's just where you're going. It's just your journey. You just haven't recognized who you are yet, and you will. I had to do this, and at almost 75 now I said, yeah, I believe in myself more. You'll do the same thing. But check out all the work. I wrote an article about a better life. Sometimes we find a better way to live, and that's what this work has done. That's what my life brought me to. So now I do have that thing that will change the world. See you soon.